Hello friends. As creatives and as creative writers and entrepreneurs, we can often develop a little bit of a cliche of being constantly at our desks, hunched over, and not really taking time to look after ourselves. I firmly believe that in order to be creative beings, we need to be looking after ourselves in every other area of our life. I've been asked over the years about my diet because I have a plant-based diet and I get a lot of questions naturally about it. I've been a plant-based vegetarian since I was a young teenager, and I've been asked about how do I handle things like meal prepping and what kind of meals do I make for myself as a creative writer and entrepreneur who is often very busy, and I don't have a lot of free time to do extensive meal prepping. So since I've gotten so many of those questions over the years, I thought it'd be fun to kind of have a little bit of a conversation about this. I've made other videos that are similar about making healthy teas and things like that. So I thought, why not do a video that kind of just lays out a few of the meals that I often like to either prep for myself ahead of time or just whip up super fast on days when I don't have a lot of time to stop and make big extensive meals. For me, as someone who practices minimalism, the easier and more minimal meals are, the better. So the recipes that I'm going to share today are very simple, raw recipes. Most of the ingredients, probably about 90% of them, are organic and things that I just picked up from my local farmers market. So these are a few meals that I've been enjoying on repeat the past couple of weeks as I've had busy writing days, and I hope maybe they will encourage you to take a little bit of time to prep an easy, raw, vegan meal for yourself. So let's delve right into it. So the first recipe that I wanted to share with you guys is my go-to breakfast. I eat this meal basically at the start of every day. I'm pretty boring when it comes to breakfast, and I don't like to spend a lot of time on it. I typically take at least 2 bananas, slice them into a bowl, and then pile them with, on this day, I had some farm fresh strawberries that I got from my local farmers market. So I pile those on and I set some aside because I'm going to also use this for the snack that I'm going to prep for myself in a mason jar for later that day. Then I dollop these with a helping of coconut yogurt and sprinkle it with dehydrated coconut. If you're aiming for having a completely raw breakfast, you can omit the coconut yogurt or add a raw alternative. Lately, I've been trying to, when I prep my breakfast, make a quick snack to go with it, because inevitably I'm going to get hungry in a few hours and I don't want to have to stop writing or working to have to go prep another snack or meal for myself. So I just take advantage of the opportunity to just make a little bit something extra, stow it in a mason jar, and have that as a snack for later. So on this day, I took the extra strawberries that I had cut up for my breakfast and I put those into a mason jar and I topped them with almonds, cacao nibs, and dehydrated coconut. And I just sealed this up in a jar and popped it in the fridge for later. For lunch, we're going to be using one of my favorite ingredients, and that is kale. I used some flat leaf kale, some carrots, zucchini, summer squash, grape tomatoes, and snap peas, all which I got from my local farmers market. So to start, I rinsed everything in a colander. Then I chopped up the zucchini, summer squash, grape tomatoes, snap peas, and carrots. After that, I took the leaves of kale, laid them out flat, and layered them with the chopped zucchini, the squash, the carrots, the peas, and the tomatoes. Then I sprinkled on some raw organic European pumpkin seeds and drizzled some vegan ranch over the top of all of this. I then rolled them up and served them with some of the leftover chopped tomatoes that I had. So I did like a little bit of a chopped tomato salad with this. Then as a snack to accompany this lunch, I just took some of the leftover zucchini, chopped carrots, chopped tomatoes, and chopped snap peas, put them in a dish, and had those as a snack later with some vegan ranch dressing on top. Just like the breakfast option, this one can also be stowed really easily in a food storage container and popped in the fridge for later, so it can be prepped early on in your day. Another lunch option, which I love as a go-to, uses a lot of the same ingredients. So I started this with rinsing a generous helping of spring and mixed Asian greens that I picked up from my local farmer's market. I added some chopped kale, chopped zucchini and summer squash, sliced into coins, some snapped peas, and here I chose to add a helping of organic fire roasted tomatoes that I picked up from just my local grocery store. I then topped this with pumpkin seeds, salt and pepper, some organic balsamic vinaigrette, and organic olive oil. I also added a little bit of fresh basil that I had growing on my porch. The mason jar snack I prepared to go with this lunch can also double as a very nutritious breakfast. And for it, I filled a mason jar with some frozen organic cherries topped with coconut yogurt, and chopped some organic medjool dates and added those, and then sprinkled on some cacao nibs. And I just popped this in the fridge for later. So all of these recipes are great for preparing ahead of time or preparing on the spot if you just don't have the time to make an elaborate meal but you're trying to stick to something healthy. I think that it's important to add that everybody has their own special dietary requirements, and my personal diet is definitely not a one size fits all. Everyone needs to find what works for them and consult their own nutritionist to see what works best for their bodies. This I found has worked great for me, and if you're looking to incorporate some things that are raw and full of vitamins and nutrition, healthy fats, those are the things I try to calculate in my mind as I whip together these meals. They're really easy and great to just whip together and stow in the fridge for later. As a writer who doesn't like to spend a lot of time on meal prep and stopping what I'm doing to go prepare lunch or breakfast, it's nice to just be able to throw together something raw, something you know that's nutritious, and something that's easy to store. So there you have it. Those are just a few recipes that I thought I would share with you guys. If you have questions about the meals or about the plant-based diet, comment below and tell me what you think. Tell me what you do to keep your body nourished and healthy as a busy creative, a creative writer, or an entrepreneur. I would love to hear your thoughts and know what your own personal practice is like. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a nutritious, wonderful rest of your day. Comment below and tell me your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. Namaste, my friend. Thanks for watching.